From downward facing dog, put your gaze on one spot. And without judging that one spot, just land on that one spot. See if you can really keep your gaze on that one spot. And then we call that our drishti. So looking at your drishti, picking one drishti spot, start to see all the parts of your body through that one spot. So see your hands without looking at your hands. Like see with an internal knowing of like, yeah, right now my fingers are spread wide, or my index fingers are facing like 12 o'clock or a little bit outward. Like get curious about what you can actually see with your inner knowing through your drishti point. Through being so focused on one spot, it gives you access to all the other spots within your yoga practice. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Walk your big toes to touch and lift your right heel up to the sky or the ceiling. Bend your knees, stack your hips open. Go ahead and really take it far, like open up really wide. If this is like just a default, like go for the big stuff. Stretch it out really, really wide. Take a huge breath in. Set that leg back down, lift your left foot up high. Bend the knees, stack the hips, yeah, and be intentional with it too. I see lots of different versions, and like, as you bring that leg back up, like strongly engage the leg and then bend the knee. Keep the toes flexed, keep grounding down through your left palm, your left wrist, your left fingertips, shoulders drawn back. One more big breath in, set the foot back down. 3 breaths in, down dog, reintegrate. Choose how you show up powerfully. Legs and thighs driving towards the back of your mat. Hands stretching forward towards the top of your mat. Pull your body in 2 different positions. Take one more deep breath in. Walk your feet to your hands, ragdoll. And throughout the flow, I'll be highlighting and pinning some of your videos onto the main screen. You won't be there for very long, but if you ever see your video, I find it's a great way to hold yourself accountable. It's like all of a sudden I'm on the main screen. It's like, whoa, gotta sit in this chair deeper or something, right? It's great. It's a good way. Shake your neck out. All right, one more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Rise all the way up, extended mountain. Hands at heart center. 1 Om. Deep breath in. Om. Extended mountain, look up, breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inner shins back, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Receive all the dog kisses. Yeah, dogs probably love this pose, downward facing dog, right? Yeah. Where can you be connected to right now? The names of these poses, your body, what's present for you in your practice right now. Take one more breath in. Exhale, look forward, step or jump to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. Extended mountain, hug your belly in, forward fold. Halfway lift, high to low push-up, stepping or jumping, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhale, integrate, hug in, look forward, step or jump. Halfway lift, forward fold. Extended mountain. Bow forward. Halfway lift, Jump it back, low push-up. Hug everything in. Squeeze in. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Deep breathing. Sarah, inner ankles drive back. Yeah, like straighten up those feet more. Really firm in the foundation. It changes the whole pose. One more, deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, jump. Halfway lift, bow forward. Extended mountain, last sunny. Forward fold. Halfway lift, shoulders up. Chaturanga, low push-up. Keep the shoulders drawn up to the back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And just be in the flow of how good it feels to move your body. Not necessarily doing this right or wrong, but just doing it for the sake of really feeling your body. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, look forward, jump. Halfway lift, bow forward. Chair. 3 breaths. Again, inner ankles draw back. Cement the outer feet down. Yeah, one more breath in. Bow forward. Halfway lift. Low push-up. Feet on 12 o'clock all the way through this vinyasa. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the right. 3 breaths. Cement down. Rise up. Rise up with power, with ease, with freedom. Like it's an expression of your breath, an extension of just the way you're feeling this morning. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the left. 3 breaths. Savannah, cement your right foot down even firmer. Yeah, one more big breath in, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, 3 breaths. It's so awesome to teach in this format because I'm not really moving my body around the way I would in a normal class. And though when I'm cueing all these things, I'm putting it exactly in my body. Like my back feels so strong right now, and I'm not even taking practice. Take one more deep breath in. Bend your knees, look forward, jump. Halfway lift, shoulders onto your back, forward fold. Chair, 1 breath. Inner ankles draw back, bow forward. Halfway lift, shoulders up, low push-up. Nice, Savannah. Keep that action there. Shoulders up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Warrior 1 on the right. 1 breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing. Warrior 1 on the left. Create it with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Consider every pose, every breath, every moment on your mat as an opportunity to create yourself, to create your practice, to create your intention. An intention of your feet, an intention of your breath. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, look forward, step or jump. Halfway lift, firm up, bow deep. Chair pose, 1 breath. Forward fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga vinyasa through. Upward facing dog with your breath, downward facing warrior 1 on the right. Spread your right toes out on your mat. Exhale, low push-up. Way to rise up with joy there, Sarah. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left foot warrior 1, create it. Exhale, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. The sense of vinyasa, of flow, is just connecting all the pieces, your drishti, your breath, your core engagement, the hands. One more big breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Jump to the top. Halfway lift, bow forward. Chair pose, one breath. Bow deep. Halfway lift, Ujjayi breathing, low push-up. Upward facing, big breath in, downward facing. Warrior one on the right. Go, feel your body move, pull apart, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga down to the mat. Doesn't matter how it looks. Up dog, downward facing dog, left foot warrior one. Just get in the flow of your body and your breath. Exhale to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing, warrior one on the right. Go again, step right into it. Go, rise up. Exhale to the mat, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing, warrior one on the left. Go, step long, press down through your left heel, and then chaturanga. Go because it's fun, because it's freeing, because it gives you access to life, to feeling your body. Lift your right foot up to the ceiling and flip your dog. Or you can choose to stay in that three-legged dog. You choose, you come from a place of intention. If you want to come into full wheel, if you want to take any other expression. But wherever you are, press your hips up higher. Draw the shoulders back into your spine even more. Hug the belly in. One more big breath in. Come back over, take side plank. Either look at the camera if you have it facing to the side, see all the other faces, all the other boxes, or maybe you see yourself if I've highlighted you, or bring your gaze up to your top hand. All right, you get to choose always. There's never a right or a wrong drishti. You get to choose. You create. Be in the creation. Take 2 more breaths. Hug the belly in. One more deep breath in. Vinyasa through. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Lift your left heel up and then flip your dog or stay in three-legged dog. Notice how good it feels to just land in this flip dog. To spread your feet at least hip width apart. To create a little bit of space and opening. Yeah, nice, Lauren. And then Lauren, drive your right hip up even higher. Right hip. Yeah, like keep spiraling your right hip. Let the left hip go down even closer. Like, yeah, that's it. Good, reach up. And side plank if you're not already there. Yeah, good. My internet totally froze for like 10 seconds. So y'all got an extra thing there. Good. And if that happens, like, you know what to do too. Like I was actually on a flow last week with about 300 other yogis and it froze for about 8 minutes. The leader didn't say anything for 8 minutes. We were in half pigeon. It was great though. Take one more big breath in and vinyasa. So you can either choose to stay in the heat, the pose, or you take it to whatever you need. Up dog, down dog. Ultimately, this practice is your practice. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. Yeah, like truly, like I'm here as a guide, as a leader to lead you through your practice, and really, it's your own practice. You can choose to take the pose or not. You can choose to take modifications, to take rest, and really tap into that. Bring your hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. Now, what does it mean? Like I've practiced yoga so much to know that sometimes I just go with the flow and I'm just like in a habitual state. What does it look like and feel like in your practice to truly make it your own? Not that like you know what the next pose in JIP is. Not like you know how this pose should look, but actually like getting into it to be up to something bigger so that you really get a feeling of a sense of freedom in your body, a sense of vitality, a sense of new energy coming in, not stale old, like I know how this goes. That point where we pull our body apart. So keep lunging deeper in towards your right thigh. Keep going deeper, deeper, deeper. Descend the hips lower towards the earth. Get that front thigh totally parallel with the earth. And then engage that back leg up even higher. So the hips don't reach up higher, just the back leg starts to come up higher. Take 3 more breaths here in this creation of this pose. Feel all the tapas be created, the heat. Take 1 more breath in, warrior 2. Now show up strong. Now this is a pose right here to be in, not to run from, to breathe into. Take 1 more breath in, extended side angle. Create every pose from your foundation. So the feet, spread all 10 toes. And then notice how that changed the foundation. Now you got access to your feet a little bit more there. It might be even more challenging though. It might give you a little bit more wobbliness because you were used to pressing into your toes and using them to hold you grounded. Now what if you freed up the toes and used other portions of your feet? That might create a little sense of tapas in your body, a sense of having to use the rest of your body to hold you in place and to engage your core. Take 1 more deep breath in, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog, crescent lunge on the left. So it's much bigger than just taking the shape of a pose. In a lot of our trainings we learn we don't practice poses here. It's not a crescent lunge that we're practicing. It's the principles, it's the foundation beneath it all. It's our drishti, it's our ujjayi breathing. It's informing our body from the ground up. Yeah, like choosing to like sink the hips lower, choosing to spread the left toes out on the mat, to engage that back leg and letting that inform and create the pose. And not having the pose inform our experience, having our experience shape and create the pose, knowing that the pose is different every time we step into it. Take 1 more big breath in, hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. New drishti point, open your eyes and get present. Through that 1 point of drishti, you get to access your whole body. You access your breath, you access your hips. You access, do you need more stability in this pose, or do you need more freedom and expression and playfulness? Take 2 more breaths. 1 more deep breath in, warrior 2. Arms strong. Squeeze the shoulder blades in, so you're drawing like the arms in towards one another, and then at the same time, reach the fingertips away from one another. Good, 1 more breath in, extended side angle. No matter what your practice looks like today, some of you said you're waking up a little tired. Some of you may have been up for hours or welcoming the sun and that's waking you up. Whatever the experience is, just be present to it and work with it, not against it. If you're tired, let that be here for you. If you have tons of energy, let that inform your practice. By going deeper, taking inversions, taking play. 1 more deep breath in, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take 1 deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, jump to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, forward fold. Chair pose, sink low, sink low. So before we get to the awesomeness of prayer twists, let's really create our chair. Let's be intentional. Moving from one pose to the next with intentionality, with strength, with power, and also with ease. So create this pose here. Hug the belly in. Good, bring your hands to heart center. Keep the belly drawn in, and then prayer twist to the right. Keep the belly drawn in. Keep squeezing the thighs in towards one another. And then draw your inner ankles towards the back of the room. Take 5 more breaths. Keep putting your attention on your body. Like, what pieces can you just slightly shift, slightly change? Whether it's lifting the toes, sinking the hips lower, drawing the heart up higher, belly draws in, gaze up higher. 2 more breaths. Breathe in, sink lower. 1 more deep breath in. That's it. Forward fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Shake out your head, your neck, your booty, whatever you need to express, to feel free. Every moment's an opportunity to bring joy into your practice. To come back to, like, you come to your mat to experience something that you like. Yeah, otherwise you probably wouldn't do it. And also, like, being present to, like, what you're doing right now is so healthy. Even just the art of breathing, so healthy for our nervous system, for our body, for regulating our mind, our soul, and not to be overlooked. Like, literally every moment of this practice, of this experience is so nourishing. Like, tap into that. Okay, come back into chair. Big toes to touch. Squeeze the legs in towards one another. Hug in, shoulders draw back. Hands to heart center, and then twist to the left. If you're working with modifications, and notice what other places you can put in the work. Shoulders drawing back. The crown of the head either reaches up or reaches forward to lengthen the neck. Press down through the center of each foot, center of each heel. Take 2 more breaths. Go even deeper. 1 more big breath in, twist, Sarah, and then forward fold. Good. Take palms to toes, forward fold. Oh man, Lindsey Thomas is on here too. So good, welcome. Yeah, like, I've been just scrolling through all the videos I see, and I like sometimes forget, like, oh yeah, that's right, there's a lot of people, because I'm so here, like, pinning different videos, having everyone, like, be showing their video, and it's so good just to be here with everyone. It's so, this technology is so amazing. Like, whether, like, some people have access to a video camera or not, like, they can still hear, they can still be a part of the practice. It's just so amazing, the connection and the possibility. Take crow pose. And people from all different parts of the country are here. People from Florida, people from Iowa, from Tennessee. Yeah, take 3 more breaths. Hug in, press down through your hands even firmer. See if you can get your whole body to lift up higher. The hips, the arms, the elbows, the shoulders, everything. 1 more breath in, jump it back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, big breath out, bend your knees, and on empty, step or jump to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. Rise tall, extended mountain. Lifting your toes, and then bend your knees, and then you'll come into eagle pose from your knees being bent in the first place. Yeah, so bend the knees first, and then take the shape of eagle. Right leg over, right arm under. Just a different way to get into the pose, starting more from the ground up, getting into your legs first, and then committing to that deep squat in this pose. And draw your shoulders back, Sarah and everyone. Yeah, that's it. Nice. And then lengthen through your cervical spine, the neck. The top of your head reaches up higher and higher, the crown of your head. Take 2 more breaths. One more deep breath in and release. Come up to stand, extended mountain. Good, now bend your knees and take eagle on the left. Yeah, good, a different way to come into it. Like if you have a habit of just wrapping the arms first and then the legs or both at the same time, be in the space of listening and trying on something new. And now draw your left, your standing foot rather, your foot that's on the ground. Draw your ankle back in line with your heel a little bit more. Yeah, nice, Savannah. Try to draw your whole body weight back a little bit more. And then let your heart rest up higher towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Yeah, nice. One more big breath in and release. Eagle on the right again. Bend your knees. Stack the right leg over. And then oftentimes the deeper squat we come into, the more like we feel like, okay, we've got to hinge forward to get this access of a deep squat with our upper body. So now you have the deep squat and work to move that right ankle back even further towards the back of your mat. It might be scary. It might feel like you're going to fall backwards. And though you know your edge, and keep cementing that foot down. Keep lifting up through your core to stabilize you. And then start to draw your upper back in line over your hips. And so you get this whole feeling of like just being stacked on top of one another. Good, one more breath in and release, extended mountain, and then bend your knees and take eagle on the left. Hug the belly in. Nice, Sarah Hearn. And then lift that energy up, lift it up. Yeah. And it's so great too. It's like, I love that. Like the belly draws in and up, but guess what? Like the hips are below the belly, right? The hips don't rise up with you. The hips sit low. They go lower, lower, lower. And then it's just what's above the hips, the belly. That's the energy that draws in and up and informs the rest of our upper body. So keep hugging in, keep lifting the side ribs up higher and higher. Head reaches up, chin draws back to the chest. One more breath in and release. Take standing leg raise on the right. I see you, Sarah. Good work. Yes, I love it. Love it so much. Standing leg raise on the right. Open up to the side. Gaze over to your left. And if you've got someone you're practicing next to, you can support their leg. You can make contact with their shoulder with your hand. Hug the belly in. That's it. Nice, Leah. Lift that energy up. Stand up even taller. Yeah. And then bring the leg back to center. Keep the core engaged. Airplane. Core, from core to floor. So we draw in from our core, pressing down through our feet to access the energy of the earth. Like there's actual energy in the earth. Yeah, things grow out of the earth. It's not just a dead thing that we live on, right? And so like the more we press our foot down into our mat, down into the floor, literally that's like using the energy of the earth and pulling it into our body. That's why we say floor to core. Take one more deep breath in and half moon. And it's just something to be at play with, to be in discovery of throughout your practice. Something really fun to tap into. It might like mean absolutely nothing to you right now. And it might like mean total sense to you. Or it might be an aha moment. Either way, it's all good however it lands, and just try it on. Keep pressing down through your standing foot to lift your body up higher, to lift your hips up higher, and then engage, pull in through your core. One more deep breath in and release. Standing leg raise on the left. And if you need like more inspiration, remember, come back to like what you're doing right now is so healthy, so like vital. Like really consider that it's like vital. It's important. It's like necessary to feel your body and to be in breath. Open your leg out to the side, gaze over your right, look out the window or look the beautiful skyline or wherever is here for you, your partner that you're practicing next to. the light coming in through your home. Like open your eyes and be open to like discovering just every view that you see throughout your practice. Come back through center and take airplane. Like how often did we practice yoga like maybe outside, you know, before this whole virtual stuff came into play, right? It's like we think we love being outside and we love yoga, but like how often did we really do yoga outside? We just loved going into a studio. Now we have access to that. Just hop outside on our porch and like, whoa, I get to see new things. I get to see practicing yoga with like my dog. It's like, that's the norm now. Wow, how cool is that? Take half moon, right? It's just a different drishti. It's a different seeing. It's something different that opened up. Same thing with every yoga pose. You press down through your standing foot. You spread the toes out. Yeah, you don't scrunch up the toes here. Spread them out. And then it forms something different. You see the pose differently. Yeah, you get access to something different in your body in this moment. And that's like the practice just working all together. And that's like the practice on our mat, off our mat. Everywhere we go, we start to see these things. Take one more breath in and release. Take dancer on the right. Set your drishti, set your gaze. Really good, Savannah. Start to straighten your standing leg even more though. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the floor to core thing. Like the legs, top leg is lifted so high, so good. And now keep pressing down to lift the whole body up higher. Yeah, huge expression. One more breath in and release. Dancer on the left. Yeah, Sarah and James, love it. If you've got a partner, then use them. Use the tools you got. And make contact. Press your hands into one another if you've got someone there. Or if you've got like a wall or a bookshelf or anything, like how can you make this practice unique? Different than like a studio setting where you're in like the middle of the room or something, right? Take 3 more breaths. Flex your back toes. Lift your back knee up higher and higher, higher. One more big breath in and release. Eagle, let's do tree. Let's do tree. Tree on the right. Yeah, high fives, I love it. Yes, so good. Put your attention on what you want to create in this pose. So for me, a lot of times I put my attention on keeping like my hip area. I make sure like my standing foot hip is not jetting out to the side, that it's hugged in more. And that, yeah, my knee, my right knee, my lifted knee is like as far out to the side as it can. I just keep opening up that hip. So that's really what I like to create. And then I love to draw the ribs in and then create expansion in my chest, my upper body. One more deep breath in and release, tree on the left. And though it could be totally different for you, it could be like, I'm gonna focus on my foundation and I'm gonna focus on the legs, or I'm gonna focus on shoulders more. Like, what are you in creation of in this pose right here? Could be coming back to a drishti point and just letting it settle on one spot. Take 3 more breaths. And maybe that drishti spot keeps you more present in the pose, gives you access to more strength and freedom. One more breath in and release. Extended mountain, breathe in, look up, bow deep, forward fold. Halfway lift, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Triangle on the right. Yeah, so good, Leah, like going off the mat to get the tool in the block. Like it's, yeah, notice like if there's something that you need or something that you want, Don't be so confined as to like, I have to like stay with my parameters here. Like, get off your mat if you need. Like, go do the thing that's going to support you. Press evenly through both feet. One more deep breath in and come up to stand. Pivot your feet forward and take pyramid. And if you really miss side facing wide-legged, you can absolutely take it. And that's the beauty of this practice. You can stay in poses longer. You can take what you need. No right or wrong. And just notice what comes up for you. Notice what you can let go of. Draw the shoulders in towards the spine. Come up halfway lift, and then twisting triangle. So yeah, you stay in this like halfway lift. So we're creating like that flat spine where it's like reaching really long. And then we twist from our core and our thoracic spine. So there's no like rounding in the back. It's a really tough thing to get in this pose, like really kind of complex pose. Works all the planes of motion. Take 3 more breaths and just like be in discovery of the pose of like where you can create more ease, where you can create more length and space. One more deep breath in and vinyasa. Upward facing dog, huge breath in, downward facing dog, triangle on the left. And move into it with a sense of flow. I was sharing with Leah before class began that in my evolution of these online Zoom classes, at first, like I was kind of just like, all right, I don't know how to feel about these. And then after a while, I really got into my flow and like, my gosh, the practice is so invigorating for me. It's so life-giving. It's so like, I'm just in my body. It doesn't matter who the teacher is, where my environment is. I'm just on my mat and I kind of surrender to the ease of this practice and to just what this practice delivers, regardless of where you're practicing, regardless of how long the flow is, regardless of who's leading you or who you're practicing next to. There's just always this constant that this practice offers us of just being in this state of flow. And just every time I land down on my mat through a vinyasa, through a chaturanga, I just feel this sense of energy and flow of just, this is where I'm meant to be on my mat right here. Take 1 more deep breath in, stand up, rise tall, and then pyramid. And every transition, every breath, every inhale and exhale, like I encourage you to really like tap into that sense of flow. It's not a static, like just like pivoting my body in a robotic way. It's like making action and creating a sense of ease and a sense of flow in your body from pose to pose, even from breath to breath within the pose. Inviting flow, inviting freedom, inviting energy to move through all the parts of your body. So spread your toes out wide, press down through your heels, and then feel that sense of flow. Rise up through your shins, up through your thighs, into your hips. And then from your hips through your low back, all the way through your mid back, through your spine, through the crown of your head. Just notice how all parts of your body are really literally connected. Come up halfway lift and then twisting triangle. If you know Baptiste yoga, you know one of the tenets, the first tenet is come from we are connected. And really that's so true of our body as well, like just our own unique individual body. All the parts are connected. Like lifting and spreading the toes connects the rest of our body. It changes the whole pose, the whole experience. Now our breath, our drishti point, those are all pieces that connect our whole practice together, that creates this whole organic sense of flow in vinyasa. Take 1 more deep breath in and vinyasa, hands to the mat. Upward facing dog, big breath in, downward facing dog. Lower all the way down to your mat. And then take locust pose or a different back bend variation. And if you're here and if it's there for you, take locust. Rise on up. Yeah, stretch your fingertips wide behind you, like far, far, far. And then instead of looking up so much, look straight forward or even down a little bit to lengthen the back of your neck, to keep the back of your neck long and lengthening out through the crown of your head. Take one more deep breath in, rise up taller, and then exhale, lower down. Grab your shins or your ankles, take floor bow. Go on up. Toes on 12 o'clock, toes flexed. Rise up, rise up. Press down into the earth to lift. So pressing down into your hip points, into your thighs, to your belly. Take 3 more breaths, find even more space. Rise up even taller. Yeah, like this is a preparation for like our wheel, right? It's just a reversed wheel. Take 1 more breath in and release. Lie on over on your back. Take 1 bridge pose. And come right on up into bridge. Good, then lower all the way back down. Set up for wheel. Hands by your ears. And set it up intentionally, like you're going into this with a purpose, yeah, intentionally. And then take a deep breath in, exhale it out, and then rise on up. Go for it. Now position the feet, set yourself up for success. So whether the feet walk in closer or the toes angle onto 12 o'clock more, squeeze the thighs in, 2 more breaths, lift up even higher, hug the belly in, 1 more breath in, lower back down. Good, wheel number 2, rise on up. Go for it, go. Feel that sense of energy, that sense of just rush, like energy rushing through your whole body, from your hands into your heart, starting to get the heart rate up, the sweat dripping down even more. 1 more breath in and release. Wheel number 3, rise on up. Go for it. Yeah, nice. Savannah wants all her birthday wheels. She's doing them. This is 3 of 3. Yes, you're 3 of 6 actually. We'll get to all 6 and then lower back down. Wheel number 4, rise on up. And go back. Yep, you got it. And then come back down, good. Wheel number 5, rise on up. You've got it. Trust that you know. Trust that it's here for you. It's inside you. Good. And then come back down. And then last wheel of our practice. Go on up, rise on up tall. And sing along with me if you want. We're going to sing Happy Birthday to Savannah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Savannah. Happy birthday to you. Good job. Excellent job. Hey, take Supta Baddha Konasana. All right. Yeah, Supta Baddha Konasana. Be grateful. Find something to be grateful for. The gift of singing, the gift of community, the gift of acknowledging. And maybe you can take that with you today, like the gift of like how good it feels to just acknowledge someone. Like maybe there's someone else that you can acknowledge today just for a little thing, like thanks for doing the dishes, or like I see you for this today. And how that helps to create a sense of connection between us and this person, or us and everyone else in the world. Take happy baby. And then feet straight up to the ceiling or the sky above you. Yeah, and have your arms go underneath, your hands underneath your low back, your sacrum area, and then lower your legs a third of the way down towards the earth. And lower another third. And keep the inner ankles drawn back. Yeah, outer pinky toes flex back towards your shin bones, and then feet straight up to the ceiling again. And then lower down 30, lower down 60. Now hover here, hover, hover, hover. Squeeze in, squeeze in. Lift the legs straight back up to the ceiling again. Hands behind your head, bend your knees, abdominal twists. We'll go for 50 on your own, go. Do the work, and all is coming. It's so great. Like here, I find like in this core work, it's a struggle for me to hold myself accountable a lot of the times. And because it's like one of the more challenging parts for me. And though I love it because recently Baron Baptiste said something in a video he posted, and it says, first your habits, you create your habits, and then your habits create you. Yeah, so like a habit of staying in the practice, of staying committed, of showing up on your mat daily, even when it's not convenient or it's not, the way that you want it to be. Good, and then come up into high boat. High boat. Good. And keep squeezing your shoulders into your back. Lift up even higher. Yeah, nice. Keep lifting your whole body up higher, your legs up higher, your thighs up higher, your shoulders up higher, the sides of your body up higher. Find even more space in this pose. One more big breath in and release. Take half pigeon. Allow yourself to take this time to rest in this pose, to give yourself some serenity, some surrender. To do nothing else but to be in this moment with your body the way it is right here on your mat. Nothing to change or fix. Can you cultivate a feeling of being whole with your body right here? And what would it feel like to claim your wholeness? To feel all parts of your body connected and perfect and whole and complete. It's not just know that, but to like claim it, to embody it, to live from it, to feel it, to put it into every pose that you take, to every conversation you have with people. And even that is a practice of feeling whole. Everything in life is a practice. Take another deep breath in, and then take half pigeon on the left. And this physical asana gives access to releasing energy, to moving stuckness, to feeling alive, to coming apart, to experiencing new growth and edges on a physical level. And it gives way to accessing our spiritualness, our soul, gives access to discovering the type of person that we can be, that we want to be, that we can create. It starts with intention, it starts with awareness. And so it's just amazing that just to land on our mats and to do some poses, some yoga poses, really gives access and gives a clear space to discovering what it feels and what it means to truly feel whole. And consider that these poses are so much more than just aligning our body and making us have better posture and reducing aches and pains in our body. And consider that every time that you dive into this practice, that it's like a deeper up leveling of all parts of your life. And truly living from like we are all connected, like your yoga practice is connected to every interaction you have in your life. That your breath is connected to the stability in a pose. It's all connected, we're all connected. And through that connection, we're all whole. There's nothing fragmented, there's nothing to be fixed. It's always just an intention and a practice to show up with love, to show up powerfully, to show up in full expression. Take 3 more breaths. And then slowly come up and lift or send both your feet straight forward and take seated forward fold. Hug your belly in. And then release, lie on your back for an inversion. You can take shoulder stand or headstand, handstand, any form of inversion, legs up a wall, waterfall with a block underneath your sacrum. Anything that's calling to you. And putting in the practices. Putting in the practice of drishti, of your breath, of your feet on 12 o'clock, of hugging into center line, drawing all the energy from the floor up through your core. And then gently coming all the way back down, lying on your back. Hug your knees in tight, take a supine twist. Let your chin fall to your opposite shoulder. And then back through center. Take the twist to the other side. And back through center one more time. Hug your knees in tight. Give yourself a kiss on the knees. Tell yourself something peaceful, something loving, affirming, anything you want. I am kind, I am beautiful, I am powerful. I am creation, I am life. I am good, I am whole. And then come into Shavasana, final rest. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Slowly come back into your body, moving your fingers, your toes, taking a stretch. And then rolling over onto either side. And then from the side, coming to sit all the way up. With your eyes closed, bring your hands to heart center. And we'll end this practice together as a community with one single Om. Take a breath in. Om. Bring your thumbs up to your forehead center. With wholeness claimed, together in community, we bow and we say, Namaste. Awesome job, everybody.